Good morning, party people in Elizabethtown, PA. Man, nice overcast skies. I am helping Garrett with a couple of his cars. I think he's got 3 cars. Garrett's got a lot of toys. Anyway, I'll be here, I don't know, another day or two. Then we'll be moving into Maryland, helping a few people there, then into Virginia. So, hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching. Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video contains things that I tinker with throughout the day. For step-by-step detailed instructions of those tasks, you can click on the links in the comment section below. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. This video also has tips and tricks that I've learned over the years. So, thank you very much for watching. There's a couple of cranes out there on the water around the lake shore. One of them's on that little branch. The other one's walking around the edge. They're not that afraid of me. There's one. There's the other one. Nice big birds. I'm over here in Bethlehem, PA. I guess this is kind of a nice area. It's got a lot of commercial stuff that's really decorated up pretty nice. That one bird's walking away. The other one don't seem to mind that I'm right here. He's just watching. They said no fishing and skating on the ice. Well, I hope to be far away from here by the time that happens. This is the only muddy place on the path. Other than that, it's pretty nice. The mosquitoes did try to attack me, but I think I outwalked them. Kicking off the Tinker Day at Rebecca's. Gonna get some 850 in done. To get this fuel line loose, you put the wrench on there, turn it that way. That's loosened. Gonna tear into the PCV on this one. It was done not long ago. Not done right, so we're redoing that. People, this is why we're in here 2 months later. Keep telling you guys don't use those parts, but people won't do it anyway. I'm gonna take the throttle cable off, get this out of the way so I don't rough it up. You pull this clip out. Probably come out easier with a pair of pliers or needle nose pliers. Try not to lose it. Then you roll this. Actually, you can just pick this up, thread it through there. Now you roll this off and you get your throttle cable out of the way. I want to avoid scratching up that pipe, move my intake manifold around a little easier. Let's even get sadder. This thing had no clamp on the top. It came right off the box on the bottom. There's no clamp under there. Then I looked at the hose that goes across to the other side of the engine. That's not clamped. The little short hose right there, the elbow to the top post, that's not clamped. The hose that comes out of here came right out, so that's not clamped. It's like nothing's clamped. It's just all jacked up in here. Got that box out of there, man. It's a freaking mess. But none of this stuff was clamped, and this piece here wasn't even clamped, and that just slides right off, man. It's a kind of a shame. All this stuff was a mess. That hose is already deformed. You just can't use non-Volvo stuff with this. It's pointless. It ain't even got the shape to keep it sealed anymore. This stuff was put on June, July, August, September, 4 months ago. In this video, I'm going to give you a quick tip about PCV system parts that I normally order and replace. I've got this thing reduced down to a minimum to save people money. There's a few things in the PCV system that almost never goes bad. The most common thing that goes bad is the wraparound pipe. Normally that thing gets so hard and brittle it breaks. Also, the drain going down into the engine the lower hole on the oil trap box gets clogged up. Maybe not totally clogged, but enough to cause your car to have some crankcase pressure. So let's take a quick look at the parts that I recommend people order. The rest of the stuff can be reused, cleaned out. Let's check it out. I've done countless PCV system replacements. Only once have I seen this box damaged to where it needed to be replaced. It had been attached to a car engine that overheated. It was melted. I do not replace this. I normally clean it out. There is a picture of one of these cut out on the internet. You can see it's pretty much a hollow canister with a couple of channels in it. No need to order one of these. If the system is old, over 10 years old, this tube normally has breaks in it. The tube that goes through there is plastic. It normally gets hard and brittle over the years. Somebody leans on it doing a tune up or something, they break this. I do not order these new. This tube here is off of a 99 turbo through 2003 or 2004 turbo. It is aluminum encased in its insulation. I use these. I get them out of the salvage yard for about $2 or $3. I clean them up, make sure they're cleaned out. If you're not doing performance mods, they flow well. No need to replace them with one of those new ones. However, if you're going high flow, high power on these cars in excess of 300 horsepower, I recommend you make a tube similar to this that has a bigger diameter. You see how it has that flat spot there, and that tube is not that big around. Anyway, I use this out of the salvage yard for $5. I always replace this lower jacket, the bottom of the oil trap box, with a Volvo one. That's the part number. Never ever use a aftermarket one. They melt, leak like crazy. People have had to replace these in 8 months because they're leaking so bad, leaking oil everywhere. I usually get this Volvo. I get the clamps from the system. The kind that came on the car, I like those. Some people don't. Get what you want. The reason I like these is they're very narrow. I got the tool to crimp them on there. They're narrow, oak leer clamps. They clamp this stuff up real good. We got these here. This is the part number for the intake manifold gasket. I always use this Volvo tube here. That's the part number for the one that goes on the turbo car. It lasts longer, doesn't come apart. I always use the Volvo intake manifold gasket. Yes, it's way more expensive than the aftermarket one. However, I've had several aftermarket ones leak in just a few weeks after installing them, and I can't go back and fix this stuff. I get silicone piping from siliconeintakes.com. I get like a 10 millimeter to put on the big ends. I get a couple small ones, 2 millimeter, 3 millimeter, 4 millimeter. I get a foot of each. That's enough to do the PCV system. You'll spend maybe $15 after shipping on that. Then I get 2 of these Volvo. One for the connection at the top of the box. Actually, the other end I normally use that hose on, or you could use one of these on the end that connects to the PTC. And those hoses can be hooked up from here to the intake manifold and from there to the PTC. So that's what I do for these kits. I'll list the part numbers. The prices change all the time, but you know, for less than $120 you can do your PCV system. Look how bent and jacked up that wraparound tube is. Man, that thing sucks. URO. Let's run the camera down there, see if they clean that hole out. That's the top hole, normally clean. That's the bottom hole. Looks pretty clean. So he cleaned it out, just didn't connect the kit back in. I cut this little tip from right there so I can hook it up to the side of the manifold. If you leave this on there, it'll hit the manifold. This is how I put this piece on the box, then I press it against the engine and put it on. Pliers you use for the Oaklear clamps. You just set that thing on there, give them a little squeeze, and that's it. You can see the clamp start to squeeze into the rubber and you just stop right there. I put 5mm vacuum line there, then I run it up here. I force 3 over that, then the 5 fits over that and grabs like a son of a gun. So that's actually how I get that there. But let's keep rolling. Put a little zip tie there for extra security. You could also put one there for extra security, but I normally don't. So let's go ahead and lower this back in place after I put that bracket in place. Keep this train rolling. Got the PCV all done. Now we're doing the ABS module. Man, I had to massage the tool onto those rusty screws. I got all 4 of them broke loose. Now I'm turning them out. We're gonna be good to go, man. The ABS module back in. Got the air tube back in. We are ready to go. This thing needs a battery clip. Get all my junk out of here. We're gonna check out the rear wiper. Diagnose this wiper. Doesn't sound good. Sometimes it runs, sometimes it doesn't. When it's running, it's not moving. Oh, interesting. I don't know if that's stripped moving or what. Oh, that's nasty. Yeah, that's real nasty. So the bolt's not real tight. Let me go turn that on, see what's going on with that. But I think the transmission here may be busted. Sometimes she starts the car and it's just running, but the wiper's not running. So we'll need to pull off this panel and get it back in there at that. Of course, that's never fun, taking these panels off, but we're going to take care of it. This thing moves, but it doesn't move any of the mechanism. So I think all this stuff is all rusted up, all up in there. So we're going to try to pull this assembly down, unplug it, and try to PB blaster that stuff loose right up in there. Nut doesn't want to come off. It's trying to rust. Stay on with the rust. Can't get it off of there, so I'm pushing this clip ring. On this clip ring goes around 80% of it. I push part of it off. I'm going to take it off. I'm going to try to tap this shaft out of here and then lubricate it and put it back in and put the clip ring back on it. That's the plan. I have some emery paper that I'm going to use to sand it down once I get it out. That's the clip ring pulling off. The shaft looks pretty clean. We're going to hit it with this emery paper here. But inside here it looks a little gummed up. So we're going to spray that out, lubricate it with some lithium grease. After we hit it with some emery paper, put it back together and see if it'll move. I got that all lubricated, put back in. As you can see, it moves now. Hopefully I didn't booger those threads up too much beating on it. Man, it does look boogered up, so hopefully that nut will go back on there. I guess that's softer than I thought it would be. Anyway, we're going to put this back up there and see if it'll work. Yes, I destroyed the threads on this thing, but fortunate for me, these folks here got a rethreader. So I re-kept the threads and we should be good to go. 8x125. Good to go. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.